Now let us see illustration 23, page number 122 of capital gains. Here it is a 14 marks problem and I will explain it to you and it will be an homework for you. There are three assets: gold, shares non-listed and debentures non-listed. So in case of gold, you can see there gold was sold in the year 2018 and it was been purchased in the year 1978, that is before 2001. You need to index it and you need to compare the fair market value and cost of acquisition, whichever is higher you need to consider. In the same way, shares, in case of shares you need to see whether it has been held by an SSC more than 12 months or less than 12 months, and in this case the shares has been held more than 12 months and it was purchased in the year 2011, so you need to index it. But in case of debentures, though it was held in 1972, you should not index. As I told you in the previous sessions, the debentures and bonds, though it is a long-term capital asset, you should not index it. Okay, now this is the thing, and let us move on to let us begin with illustration 24, page number 123 of capital gains, which is a 14 marks here, and we have got 4 assets. Under that, first one, share purchased in the year 2011 for rupees 54,000 and sold in 2018 for rupees 1,95,000. So here first one is shares. So as I said you, shares is a long term capital asset because this it comes under stock. So as per Income Tax Act, stocks means any stock should be held more than 12 months, then it comes under long term capital asset. So sale proceeds comes to rupees 1,95,000 less selling expenses. I think in this we don't have any selling expenses, so selling expenses becomes nil. Therefore net consideration will be 1,95,000. Next we need to index it. Therefore indexed cost of acquisition. So index cost of acquisition, so purchase value is 54,000 into 280 divided by purchased year CA value is 184, I think so. Yes, 184. So 54,000 into 280 divided by 184 it becomes 82,173.9. let us round it off, 82,174. so if we deduct this, 1,95,000 minus 82,174, I think we will get a positive long-term capital gain. 1,12,826. 1,12,826. Okay. So now next asset is jewelry. So it is also comes under long-term capital asset because assessee held this jewelry more than 36 months or 3 years. So sale proceeds 18,10,000. Here we have incurred selling expenses. So selling expenses will be 20,000. So 18,10,000 minus 20,000, it becomes 17,90,000 will be the net consideration. Less indexed cost of acquisition. Indexed cost of acquisition. So here jewelry was purchased before 2001 in, that is 1,50,000, and just a minute, he sold jewelry for 18,10,000. He agreed to sell the jewelry to buy for 2,70,000, which was purchased in 1997 for rupees 1,50,000. However, the sale could not be effected and backdated. He forfeited the advance of rupees 20,000 which he received from Y. He now sold the jewelry and incurred selling expenses. Don't get confused here. Selling expenses value is 20,000, and he abandoned previous transaction. That transaction value is also 20,000. So don't worry about this. Don't worry about this, and also don't get confused. First, you need to check for how much he has been sold and for how much value he has been purchased. So here he has purchased for 2,70,000. So 2,70,000 into 280 divided by 100. 2,70,000 into 280 divided by 100. It becomes 7,56,000. So 17,90,000 minus 7,56,000. I think we'll get long-term capital gain. Long-term capital gain will be 10,34,000. 10,34,000. Okay. Next asset, debenture. So be careful here. Debenture. In case of debenture, though it is a long-term capital asset, so they are purchased in September and sold in December 2018. It is more than 12 months. So it is a long-term capital asset. Though it is a long-term capital asset, we should not index it. Therefore, sale proceeds $45,000 less selling expenses as nil. So net consideration will be 45,000 will be the net consideration less cost of acquisition. Cost of acquisition will be 50,000. In this case, we incurred a negative value. So, long-term capital loss. We have incurred a long-term capital loss of rupees 5,000. But in case of motor car is used for personal purpose. We should not consider for any calculation. We need to write and we should show it as nil. So now, next, let us calculate computation of taxable capital gain. Computation of taxable capital gain. So in this case, we have only long-term capital assets. In this case, we have only long-term capital assets. So let us see how much value we are going to incur. Okay. Long-term capital assets. So, as I said you, the heading should be computation of taxable capital gain of Mr. X for the assessment year 2019-20. So, first asset will be shares. So, we have incurred 1,12,826. 1,12,826. Next asset is jewelry will be 10,34,000, and in case of debentures we incurred a capital loss of rupees 5,000, and in case of motor car, this motor car is used for personal purpose, so we should not consider. So now what you need to do, you should add these two and deduct this amount. First you need to add these two amount, then deduct these two. So 1,12,826 plus 10,34,000. 1,12,826 plus 10,34,000 minus 5,000. So we are going to get 11,41,826. 11,41,826 will be the taxable capital gain. 11,41,826 will be the taxable capital gain. Taxable capital gain. Okay, I think so. Till here we have completed till the problems under section exemption under section 54, 54B, 54D, 54EC and 54F. Now let us see section exemption under section 54G and exemption under section 54GA. Exemption under section 54G and 54GA. Okay, so 54G, when an SSE can claim exemption under section 54G means when an SSE is going to shift industrial undertakings. Keep in mind, when an SSE is going to shift industrial undertaking from urban to non-urban land, from urban land to non-urban land, or from urban area to non-urban area, then SSE can claim exemption under section 54G. In this case, if an SSE holds an area or holds a land in non-urban area, if that area is being purchased before planning to shift the existing area, before planning is going to shift in existing area within 1 year, then he can claim exemption. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಅವ್ರು ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬರೋ ವರ್ಷ ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಇಯರ್ ಅವ್ನು ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ದಾನೋ ಆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚೆ ಅವ್ನು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವಿತಿನ್ 2 years ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಫುಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ರೆಡಿ ಟು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ವಿತಿನ್ 3 years ರೆಡಿ ಟು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ SSE ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕ್ಲೇಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಷನ್. ಆರ್ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿರೋ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ರೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಆಗ SSE ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕ್ಲೇಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 54 by depositing the amount in capital gain account scheme 1988. By depositing an amount in capital gain account scheme 1988. In the same manner, in case of 54GA, if an SSE is planning to shift an industrial undertaking to special economic zone, so 54GA means special economic zone. In case of 54G, converting from urban to non-urban area. So confuse agbedi illi. Urban to non-urban area 54G. Converting from urban to SEZ, special economic zone, or from non-urban area to SEZ, then SSE can claim exemption under section 54GA. Same rules and regulations within 1 year before shifting the industry, or after 2 years, after 2 years, or after 3 years, and he can also claim exemption under section 54 by depositing an amount in capital gain account scheme 1988. So based on this we will solve one problem. Go to illustration 25, page number 124. Page number 124, illustration 25. Okay, let us see this. Hey. Oh. So now let us see illustration 25, page number 124 in your textbook. So there they have given three assets: plant and machinery, land and building, furniture. Mr. Arun owns an industrial undertaking. Please underline that word, industrial undertaking, which is situated in urban area of Bangalore. Mr. Arun shifted this industrial undertaking to rural area. Please near Biddi. Please underline that sentence too. For shifting purpose, if you hear that sentence, assessee is eligible to claim exemption under section 54G. That you need to know while reading the question itself. Acquired in 1998, plant and machinery, net sale consideration 20 lakh, date of sale 15/9/2018, acquisition WDV value kottidare. They have given WDV value. Please consider 8,80,000. Cost of assets purchased 10 lakh. Though they have given cost of assets purchased, you should always consider WDV value. Okay. Then in the same way the other two assets also. So this problem will be very easy, though by looking this you may get confused, and don't worry about the heading. Please write down computation of taxable capital gain of Mr. Arun for the assessment year 2019-20. So first asset is plant and machinery. First asset is plant and machinery. So this asset is a short-term capital asset. Short-term capital asset because they have given WDV value. So net sale consideration is 20 lakh less cost of acquisition under section 50 subsection 2 of WDV, I think 8,80,000. The balance amount will be 11,20,000. 11,20,000 will be the short term capital gain. In the same way, second asset, land and building, it is also a short term capital asset. Net sale consideration, net sale consideration is 30 lakh less cost of acquisition. For this also they are given WDV value under section 50 subsection 2. WDV was 10 lakh 40,000. Then it becomes 19 lakh 60,000. Okay, this is the short term capital gain. Okay, now let us total these two. 19 lakh 60,000 plus 11 lakh 20,000, 19, 29, 31 lakh 80,000, or 30 lakh 80,000 will be the total short term capital gain less exemption under section 54G. Exemption under section 54G. See guys, in case of industrial undertaking also, furniture cannot be considered as asset or capital asset. Keep it in mind, furniture cannot be considered as capital asset, though it has been used for industrial purpose. So that's why I am claiming exemption here itself. Cost of new plant and machinery. So cost of assets purchase is how much? It is 10 lakh. In the same way, cost of new land and building purchase 18 lakh 50,000. So it becomes 28 lakh 50,000. The balance will be 2 lakh 30,000. Okay. So in case of furniture, so it is called taxable capital gain, 2 lakh 30,000. So in case of furniture, net sale consideration is 80,000 plus cost of acquisition under section 50 subsection 2 of WDV, written down value was rupees 30,000. So 80,000 minus 30,000, the balance amount will be 50,000. So I'm sorry. So it is 35,000. Balance amount will be 45,000. So 2 lakh 30 plus 45, we will get 'It is a capital short term capital gain. So 45,000. Now 2 lakh 30 plus 45 will be 2 lakh 75,000 will be the total taxable capital gain. So you can ask me a question here, sir, why you have done here directly rather than computing in the by taking in the next heading taxable capital gain. So that in the previous problem also I could have done the same thing, but here the problem was small. On that scenario I have done here directly. In the previous one problem was too long, so I don't have any place to write it here, so that's why I need to swipe it and then I need to do additional step for that. So by this we are going to end capital gains of chapter 3 written the book written by Dr. B. Baryappa of Income Tax 2. Then you can see the exercise problems starting from page number 126, starting from page number 126, sorry, 127. In 126 I have given you some of the revision theory part. Please go through it. I have given a table for section 54, 54B, 54D, 54EC, 54F, 54G and 54GA. Okay, then, and also I have given you the exemptions and some of the exercise problems 2 from 127 to 131, I think so. So let us meet in the next class by starting a new chapter, income from other sources. Okay, so thank you.